Welcome back to another Judith Unhinged, episode 4. I'm unhinged and you're Judith. We're just chatting about my week. This episode, we'll talk about kids throwing papers in hospitals in the Netherlands. Oh no, the Dutch news of the week. Fallout 2, Wonder Man. We dive into Dungeons and Dragons. We discuss cosplay disasters. Then we dive into a little bit of One Taste, which was an armchair expert this week. And we close off, of course, with BlackPink, because Rosie did the Call Her Daddy podcast this week. And I'm so excited about it. And I do want to tell you all about it. So let's get into it. The Dutch news of the week is that we have a new problem. While the world is falling apart in the Netherlands, kids are throwing papers around in hospitals. Oh no, what do we Nederlanders do about this? So, in the Franciscus Vlietland Hospital in Schiedam, a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old broke in, which, like, it's not very hard. Everyone can walk into any hospital anywhere in the Netherlands. And they vandalized some furniture. They they sprayed some paint around, and they threw a lot of papers everywhere. The pictures of it are just like empty floors, which is like, this is a hospital. What are you doing with all your empty floors? I don't know. Empty floors with papers everywhere. It looked like my daughter's rooms. Um, yeah, but this, of course, is a massive problem in our society, and we should deal with it in a very professional way. So the police got involved, and kids that are 12, you can't arrest them. So, what did they do? What did our Dutch police force do about this horrible problem with kids throwing papers around in hospitals? We can't have that happening. They had a stern talk to their parents. That's it. That's all that happens. Nothing else happened. And just the people there are annoyed because they have to clean up after these two boys that vandalized everything. That's what's happening in the Netherlands. Isn't it fun? Don't you want to live here? I'm so happy I'm Dutch. Anyways, next up, Fallout 2, which is coming out next week. At least the season finale is for season 2. I can't wait to see how it ends. I'm very excited. I love this season. It's so funny. It's so, like, in 2026, I was really hoping for like exciting shows that would drag me into their world. And Fallout season 1 already amazed me, and this second season does not disappoint. I will do a full series on it next week. I'm really looking forward to it. Then I started Wonder Man. Not so enthusiastic about it. I'm in episode 3 right now, and I'm still not getting it. I don't know what it is. So it's about a failing actor, and he's trying to hide his powers. It's in the Marvel universe. So Wonder Man is at the beginning of the series. We see at least an old movie Wonder Man where some guy was playing a superhero. So whatever. Um, so and then this boy that is watching that, he turns out to have superpowers. I don't exactly know what his powers are. He gets really emo and then he destroys everything around him. So it seems like maybe he's like a walking walking something. So he's very destructive, right? And I don't know what it is exactly, what is not working. I love the Marvel universe. I love the Marvel movies. To be fair, I haven't been that much into it since what is it? Avengers Endgame, where they just half of the population poof, vanished and half of the cast. um, and it, I don't know what it is about Wonder Man that isn't working for me. I think it's a vibe as well. It's the humor that isn't like landing for me. I don't like shows that take themselves too seriously. There has to be an inside joke. There has to be, either you take it to like dramatic Sopranos level, but even the Sopranos had humor, people. You can do a serious show and you can have humor in it, and you can have laughs in it, and you can have wonderful characters in it. But either you take it to the dramatic level of the Sopranos, or you need to have some comic relief, and they do, but it's not working. It's not landing. The characters aren't vibing together. It's very nerdy. I'm a huge nerd. We'll get into that, but it's very nerdy in an acting way. Like they're quoting these plays that I don't know these plays. Is this what Wonder Man is? I'm assuming it's based on a comic. Is this what it is? Is it nerdy acting people and then them trying to be a hero? Because I do hope, because the world is set like they're capturing these supernatural people and they're locking them up. So he's trying to not get locked up, but he doesn't know they're onto him yet. But they are very much almost onto him. And this is supposed to be exciting, right? And I'm not excited. I'm not worried for him. I am not scared that eventually they'll find him. Not just, it's not working. Why is it not working? I will watch it and I will come back to it and understand why it's not working for me. I don't know if I'll do a full series on it yet, because I don't like just doing series on things I don't like. I don't like doing that. I want to like it. I'm critical enough that I can, criticize the things that I do like. So I don't want to do the stuff that I really didn't like. Speaking of which, one battle after another. I watched it. I did mention my face blindness, which struck again, but I didn't like it. I did not like it. It's award season, and it seems that everybody likes one battle after another, right? Everybody loves it somehow, but it just didn't hit for me. I loved Sean Penn in it. Okay, Sean Penn was fantastic, stole the show. He was amazing. They could have done the entire movie about him, and it would have been fantastic. Also, evil characters, so maybe that's why I like him so much. Not Sean Penn isn't evil. His character was evil. Just to make that differentiation, like the remark that the daughter made, he has such, why do you have such a tight shirt on? And then him blowing up about it. It was so funny to me because he looks ridiculous in this film. He looks like he's on steroids. It's crazy. This man is ancient and he looks like that. I didn't get to see it when it came out, and maybe that's the thing that did it for me. Because what I do, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit opinionated. I don't go for reviews. I don't look up how things were received. I really form my own opinion. And I don't care what everybody else thinks. I really don't. If somebody hated something, but I loved it, which there's plenty of examples of things that apparently didn't work. Pushing daisies, just throwing that out there. Community, I know it ran for a little bit, but it never hit, right? It's the most amazing sitcom there is. It's really, it's so fantastic. I don't understand why it didn't have a revival yet, but if you know, you know. But with that said, with one battle after another, I did receive all these people that were talking about it and that were thinking like, it's so amazing, it's fantastic, did you see it, it was so good. So in my mind, I was building up this beautiful father-daughter story, because we know Leo does drama really well. So I was thinking it would be like that. And then the whole movie isn't really about him and his daughter. He's a really lousy, Leo isn't again, it's his character. So the character, the father character, is such a bad dad. If you thought that was a good dad, the, just evaluate your parents, okay? Or evaluate how you're parenting. It's not good, okay? It just isn't. Um, and the humor, they didn't take it far enough for me. The characters didn't work because I hated that father. That it just didn't work for me. It wasn't hitting the spot like I thought it would. And no, it didn't do it for me. So that's the unpopular take on one battle after another. It just wasn't anything for me. In podcast world, Flightless Bird did a whole episode on Dungeons and Dragons, D&D. I know with Stranger Things it gotten a little bit more popular, but I'm not an OG because I'm too young for that, if you can believe it. But I really love D&D. And of course, David and Rob, who were so cool, like they're the music nerds, right? They're not the nerds. They've never played it. They don't know. I mean, Rob is into fantasy football, but hasn't played D&D. Hello, get on board, I would say. But to me, it's a great litmus test. Have you like if you're like hardcore nerd like me, you love gaming, you love all things fantasy, you love like Ghibli, you love Disney. Um, when you meet someone, ask them, what's your D&D experience? Or like if somebody has played Warhammer, oh, 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 you know they're a fantastic nerd, right? If they've done that. So ask about those experiences. And if they say even if they dabbled in it at some point or they understand what it is and how it works, then I'm on board. I'm on board. You have a leg up for me. I'm not saying you'll be my friend. I'm very selective with my friends, but I will accept you. That's something. That's something. I will immediately like you because just because you played D&D even once. Unless you hated it, then it's a different story. But it's a great test to see like where are you on the nerdy scale? Are you high enough to like be nerdy with me? Yes or no? So I love that. I got introduced to D&D on a sleepover. And this was with one of my friends in back in elementary school or something. I was very young. So I had a sleepover at my friend's place, and we were playing D&D with the entire family, their family. And I loved it. I was amazed by it. I thought this was the best thing ever. And then suddenly we had to stop because the dad was annoyed because somebody made a remark. And then he was like, I can't accept this behavior and stop the game altogether. And I was like there going like, what happened? Somebody made a lousy remark and now we stopped the game and the father is upset. And that's when you know you're the problem. You're the annoying family that is showcasing bad behavior. You're it. The other people are nice people that get upset when people make stupid remarks, not when they curse each other out. Or when they throw the board in the air, the amount of times that, not me, I'm calling out my family, but the amount of times that things got very toxic while playing games, just every game. I just have to say every game. So that's when you discover, oh, these are good people. We're not like that. We're not well-mannered like they are. So funny. They also had on that same sleepover, because I'm such a gaming nerd, they had a computer with the Settlers on it. The Settlers, the OG Settlers. It was amazing. It opened up a whole new world from a whole new world for me. It was so good. So I had D&D and the Settlers in one sleepover, which is why I think I can remember that sleepover because my memory is just so bad. It's so bad, it's crazy. So yeah, I love that. I love D&D. I did make my own D&D. I designed a full game, so a full system, based on I think one of the D&D, I think it was a D&D vampire thing book that we had. So I based my entire, I created a design system for D&D, and then I designed a story and I played the dungeon master for my friends, and we had a wild adventure that nobody took seriously, but we had so much fun. I can highly recommend playing D&D. Play it, make your friends play it, design your own stories, do it, and just go for it. It will be a wild adventure and you will have so much fun. You will make friends for life. It will be so nice. That brings me to cosplay. We like to cosplay as a family. It's really fun. We enjoy doing that as a shared experience. And we try to do that every few months, and go if our schedule allows it. It's really, really nice. But I have such a big grievance. And I do wonder if more people are experiencing this. So any event, it doesn't have to be a cosplay event, just any event you want to go to, right? You buy your online tickets. I don't know anyone who still buys physical tickets. You buy your ticket, and then, you get an email saying you don't have your tickets yet because you have to personalize them first. Personalize them. The bane of my existence. I hate it. I hate it to my core. I get so mad. I get so frustrated when I get that email, and it's so stupid. It's such a stupid ticketing system. Don't get me started on the rows at these events and how badly they have crowd control management as well. When you're at an event and you have one very, very long entrance line, but that's like the day people, and then you have another line that's clear. There's nobody standing there, and that's for the weekend people because they're already in there or whatever. There's nobody there. And the line for the day people, day tickets, they just get longer, longer, longer. And then you get to the point where they can scan your cards. And guess what? On the other sides, there's like at least six people, I can't make six people doing nothing, standing there, ready to scan the weekend ticket people that are not there. And in the meanwhile, you had to wait 2 hours out of like the 6 that you have to spend there waiting to get inside these events. The rants that my children hear me, again, not the nicest people, but the rants that my children hear me go on. I'm trying to learn how to behave. I cannot fix the world. I cannot fix them and tell them, hey, you didn't manage this correctly. You know what would be nice if you move these things around and put some more people to scan the stupid tickets out of the weekend line and into the day line. That would help, management. If you ever need a consultant to help you with crowd control, this is your guy. But that was a different rant. The ticketing system for personalization. So I buy 4 tickets for my husband, my 2 daughters, and me. I receive the request to personalize my tickets. I cannot access my tickets until I've personalized them. So you have to enter like all these data points that my husband never wants to give. Your name, your date of birth, because they can check it with your ID. So your date of birth. What else? And then they want, your gender, because that's important. And then your email address. And for personalization, they send, you can't just fill it in and give my email address because I bought those tickets. So I just give mine. I cannot do that. I have to give 4 different email addresses. 4. So I bought those tickets. They are my tickets. They are not my daughter's, nor my husband's, nor from my neighbors. They're mine. But I have to enter somebody else's email address so that they can get on their phone and click on the email they received and then check their information or fill it in and then confirm it. And then I have to do that 4 times. Are you crazy? That is ridiculous. That costs so much time. I'm a mother who's doing this for her kids. I'm not giving my kids' email addresses to people. Yes, they have email addresses, which is just for, general purposes. I'm not giving that to them. My husband doesn't want to give out his email address everywhere. It's crazy to me that they want to do this way. And remember, I paid for those tickets. So it cost a lot of time. Do you think I'm going to wait there until somebody finally goes and verifies the information and clicks on it? How much time does this cost? Why are they asking this of people? If you just want to verify that these are real people buying your tickets, or you want to match up their like name and birth date when you enter, fine. Don't ask for 4 different email addresses. I found a loophole. Ha ha ha. I found a loophole. Not until after I got very angry and bitched about it to my husband. I found a loophole. You know what the loophole is? If you have Gmail, then you put a dot in between any of the letters in your email address. The ticketing system will think, that's a different email address than the one they supplied to me before because there's a dot here in between these letters. And Gmail filters out the dot. It doesn't care about dots. Isn't that nice? Yes, yes, it is. So as long as you have enough letters or numbers in your email address, you can put dots in between them and do it differently for each person. And you can just do it yourself. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? It still doesn't solve my issue and it doesn't take away my frustration, but it is very nice to have this loophole. I really think they should reform their systems and not do these personalizations anymore. At least ditch the email address. One person buys it. If one person is so nice to buy you tickets, then let them fill in your data. It's nice. Airports have done this. Like they have done this for decades like that. Let them do it. Ugh, annoying. Armchair Expert talks about cults this week, which is a lot more nice to talk about, and I have less grievances about. And what was her name? Ellen Hewitt talks about the One Taste cult, which you can also see in the doc on Netflix. It's Orgasm Inc. So this cult, it's interesting. It's orgasmic meditation. So they had a person, it could be male or female, and it was all about female pleasure. And they were stroking a female in their private parts, not to have them climax. That wasn't the point. But the journey was the point. Like the journey, the meditation exercise was the point. Of course, this was a cult. I think the trial, they've been sentenced for something involving labor because they made people do labor without paying them. They have a word for that. And they haven't been sentenced yet. So the cult leader, the lady and her right-hand woman, they got convicted for it. but they haven't been sentenced yet. It is very interesting. I love cults, as you know. And the once you study cults, you see the different patterns in them. Just everybody does it the exact same way, which is interesting. And one of the things that sort of popped out to me was victimhood. So, one of the things they get rid of is people making themselves the victim, feeling like a victim. Guess what happens when you take a victim out of it? You leave people open to be traumatized, to have these cult leaders do whatever they like to them. Because once they come to you and say, hey, they did, he did this to me, they go like, why do you feel this way? What did you do to cause him to do that to you? And they really, like that one taste cult got into it like that. Women who are a victim to sexual assault, that they give out a certain hormone that makes men do it. Taking like, so it doesn't only take away a victimhood, it also takes away the blame. And that's so problematic. That's also not how justice works or how the legal system works at all. Um, yeah, it's very interesting. We have a lady on Instagram. I want to get her name right. It was Pop Cults with Cassie. Pop Cults with Cassie. She did. She's very good. Follow her if you like cults. She does funny and interesting takes and really educates people. She did a whole thing on Scientology. And there's a documentary coming out about America's Next Top Model. You know, they've been doing this about shows back in the day. And was it a cult? Is it cult like America's Next Top Model? She, I think, carefully starts saying maybe. And I wonder if they'll get there in the doc, because there's been a lot of criticism on America's Next Top Model. I did watch it in the day, it was entertaining. But yeah, I do. I think it's crazy what went on there. But when you think about what happened back in the day with TV shows, it is all crazy. And some of the shows these days are still insane. So, you know, there's that. But when I think about these docs now coming out about those shows, it's interesting, right? Because they are very cult-like. Like people do a lot to be on these shows or to win, or and they cross boundaries to do that. I found the Biggest Loser documentary very disappointing. It was more of a fluff piece than anything that really got to the, like, how did it actually work? What was actually the impact? It was not going into that territory. And I thought that was kind of, kind of a shame. Because the Jerry Springer documentary, if you haven't seen that one, it's so good. It is really a tell-all. How did they make the show? And I remember back in the day, we had a neighbor, and she was American. That was the first American, that I met. Meanwhile, yeah, I've I've met a lot of Americans, but that was the first one, and she said, "It's all fake." I was like, "Well, of course it's all fake. It's all fake." But she was like, "No, it's all fake. It's not real." And it was heightened. It wasn't fake in the sense that some of it was an act, but a lot of it was heightened, which was very, very interesting. Anyways, the Jerry Springer documentary, getting into it, was really good. Tell all. They really said like we did wrong, and these are some of the bad things we did. And I think that's what's needed. Will the America's Next Top Model documentary do the same? I highly doubt it. I think it will be more fluffy, a fluff piece like The Biggest Loser. But we'll see. The most fun I had this week was listening to Call Her Daddy. Alex was interviewing Rosie from BlackPink, and it was just amazing. It was so much fun to listen to this because they don't do this. Jenny, Lisa, Jisoo, Rosie don't do this. Yes, they give interviews. They don't do podcast talking about their feelings. They don't do that. In Korea, it's all very businesslike anyway. If you see their launches and see their interview, that's how they do it there. It's the same as watching their award shows. It's very different, right, from our culture. From the Asian culture is very different from the Western culture, and they do things very differently there. If you see those early BlackPink performances at these like corporate events, that's just insane. That is insane. Okay. Anyways, Alex did such a good job doing this one because she eventized this. This is like, it's all over my feed. Of course, it's all over my feed because I am in the cult of BlackPink, right? I'm a Blink. I'm obsessed with BlackPink, with Jenny as my bias. I'm in the 0.04% of listeners of Jenny, you know. But Alex sees and understands. I doubt she's a Blink. I doubt she's that engaged into that culture. I now know of a couple of people in that world that do like and love BlackPink, but I don't think she's one of them. But she understood it, which makes her so smart and which makes me appreciate her even more. Because even though she's not as into that subculture of K-pop as some of the Blinks, I'm not into K-pop culture, but I am into BlackPink culture. But even though she doesn't fully comprehend it, she understood the significance of someone like that going on her podcast. So she eventized it. She traveled for it. She did multiple days of interviewing. She went to a BlackPink show because they've now finished the Deadline tour, by the way. But yeah, it's amazing. So I really appreciate that Alex understood the unique situation that she is in, that this was a major get, that it's a beautiful collaboration. And that's what came off during the interview as well. It's very interesting to hear Rosie talk about her relationships, which she sings about, right? Toxic till the end. And how she needed to dress up like an old lady in order to go visit her boyfriend. How she has to have these things secret. She has to keep her relationship secrets because otherwise her partner will get so much hate. She only dates people in the industry because they understand that aspect of it. I pause a lot when I hear the BlackPink women talk about their traineeship and what they went through. And I don't think we know everything that they actually go through. I don't think you know the ins and outs unless you've been there. But it sounds bad. It sounds very, very hard. I don't think it's fair for someone whose brain is still developing to put them in that kind of exposure situation, to make them work that hard as well. I don't think that's very healthy. I am very thankful that they went through that and that they came out as BlackPink and as the women they are now. But I think it's a very unhealthy situation, both physically and mentally, to be in, and that they are that we have this idol culture, because we have it in the West and we have it in Asia and we have it across the world. I mean, Bollywood. Um, that we have this idol culture and we see these people as like godlike is crazy, because these people then don't have a life. um, I understand that they can be rich and famous, and that's all great, but that's not everything there is to life. You also have to be able to live your life, and they are not able to do that. And that is sad. And what I wish most for them is that they get to experience freedom. I keep remembering like Lisa's words in that Netflix documentary. Was it Netflix or Disney? Whatever. Um, where she said, I hope they remember that we, at some point, we were shining. And I think that's beautiful. And I think it's wonderful that they were aiming for that. But I also think it's so important to enjoy your freedom, live your life. This is your work, it's not your life. And you need to experience life to the fullest, because you only get one, people. You don't get more. This is it. So you need to do what you want to do in life, and not let other people projecting this godlike image on you limit you in that way. Please remain safe. Above all, don't go do crazy things, because they do have to make sure that they are safe, because it's very dangerous. Blackpink's contract is coming up. So they did 10 years. Their contract is ending. She talked about like she just signed things. She didn't even read it. I was like, what? But of course, she was like tiny. She was a child. Yeah, how can she even sign contracts if she's not an adult? Don't her parents need to sign? Anyways, she just signed it. Nobody looked at it. And now their contract is up, so they're probably renegotiating things. Of course, they're now in a very different position. They're not little girls anymore. These are women with full on careers, solo careers, movie careers, acting careers. They're international superstars. Um, and she said she doesn't think Blackpink is over, because she says we have things to celebrate because we had such a success. We have things to celebrate, and it's wonderful. It's heartwarming to see these girls support each other through and through. It's so beautiful to see. But I have a plan. So these girls all want to work on their solo careers, whether that's music or acting or whatever they want to do. So I have a 5-year plan. So in 5 years, they spent 4 of those 5 years on their solo work. Whatever those projects are, they spend time on that. Then 1 year they spend on Blackpink. And that's right. They have people that make the music for them as well. They have a whole team. They, of course, are very highly involved. I'm not saying that, but there's a way where they could make that work if they spent most of that time on their solo career and then some of that time on Blackpink. And I don't think us Blinks would mind if they focus more on what they want to do. I don't think you can expect them to keep doing the same thing for the rest of their lives. At least that's not what I want to see. I want to see them evolve. I want to see them do all sorts of things. And I don't want them to just focus on Blackpink. I do want them to come back to Blackpink with all of their experiences and then give us whatever they think Blackpink means to them in 5 years' time. I would love to see that. I don't mind that they would take breaks in between. I've been listening to their stuff on repeat anyways. So, how do you like that? Let me know. I think it's a good idea. They're not listening, but let them know that's a good idea. I think we can work with that. Okay, that's it for this week. I hope you loved listening to me. I loved chatting with you, and see you next week. Bye.